Welcome, it is your friendly neighborhood badger here, and I am back for day 7 of the Road to Headhunter challenge. Now today is a little bit different because I don't have any data for you about running maps themselves. I've been spending today making this new build for the next leg of the challenge, which is 1000 glacier maps. Now, as you can see, I am very well dressed up for this occasion, full ice mode with the Alpine hideout as well. I'm very ready to get going, but there's still a little bit more tweaking I need to do on this build. However, I'm just going to give a showcase right now. Before I talk too much about this build, I'm just going to jump into a map and show you how it performs. Now, it could be a little better than it is right now, and that's what I'm still working on, but you'll see the general mechanics. Some of you may already know that this is a Vaal Power Siphon build, which is very, very fun and interesting. A little bit of lag there. I wonder why that is. All right, we're just jumping into the map here, and we come to the Legion. Basically, we pop it, pop our flasks, and pop our Vaal Power Siphon. Now, you'll notice it doesn't fully clear the entire Legion. I was really hoping that it would, but hopefully we can tweak it a bit more so it does. But all I've got to do is just go around and get the last couple ones around the edges here. We jump back into the middle and pop our Vaal Power Siphon again, and then once more just go around the edges, popping everything here and picking up what we need to. And that is pretty much how the build goes. Now, the Australian realms aren't doing too good tonight. As you can see, I am lagging a little bit, but that is all right. It was good enough to show you how this build works. And let's pop this because it's all Marika, so I don't want to skimp out on these little juicy nuggets. Pick them all up. Great. So after this, I'm just going to pick this up here, as you can see, and we're going to jump out, and I'm going to show you the in-depth build with the passive tree as well. And I'm also going to be including the Pastebin both in the description here and on Reddit when I make the post there. Alright, let's jump out and have a little look, shall we? First of all, you'll notice that I'm wearing a Piscator's Vigil Wand. This is perfect for any elemental wand build. It's just going to give you that extra elemental damage with attacks, which means that you basically stack Abyss Jewels with lots of elemental damage, and elemental damage everywhere else as well. I even went for a corruption of lightning damage on the Piscators. We then have a Impulse's Broken Heart for the explosions everywhere. Really helps just clear up those tightly knit packs. Then for our Kinetic Blast, to be able to get those initial charges, we have a Tempest Binding, which gives a pseudo 6 link and also lets me sustain Frenzy charges, which is always nice. We then have an Escher's Mirror. Escher's Mirror is just going to help us clear mobs even better. The more mobs we kill, the more damage we get, which then gets buffed by Piscators immensely. Now, that's all pretty self-explanatory. The interesting thing that I've decided to go for with this build is going for Max Chain. Now, this is how I clear almost the entire Legion just in one button press, as we have this Gloomfang here. Now, Gloomfang lets you chain an additional time, and your projectiles gain non-chaos damage as extra chaos damage per chain. This is really nice for getting those edge monsters, and in Legions, around the edges, that's where most of your rares are. And I've noticed that I can even kill generals in one hit of a Vaal Power Siphon with this build. It does immense amounts of damage, which is really nice. I did splash out a little bit and get an additional Curse Gloomfang, which does let me run a Assassin's Mark ring, as well as some Corrupted Elemental Weakness on hit Shadows and Dust, which is very, very good. Extra damage, always nice. You'll notice the downside to Gloomfang is the lose 20 life for each enemy hit by your attacks. That is quite large. However, our other ring is an Elder Ring, which has 15 life gained on hit for each enemy hit by your attacks, meaning that I'm only losing 10 life per enemy hit, which honestly is really negligible. My life flask does more than enough to cover up for that, as well as all of the extra leech that I'm getting everywhere, and another little thing in a moment that I will show you. And then the rest is, again, pretty self-explanatory. We've got a Darkness Enthroned with 2 LE Jewels in there, and they've got a little bit of resistance on them just to cap me up. We then have a 7 League Step just for the extra move speed. That's pretty much it for the build itself. I'll just give you a little bit of a show of the passive tree. So if we jump in here, we can have a little look that we are a Raider and we are also Deadeye. Now I'll come back to the Ascendancy choices at the moment because they're pretty interesting and I'm still working around with them, seeing if I can maybe change something up there, but it's seeming pretty good. But you'll notice that we come just straight out of the Raider for the evasion life nodes, and we come down first here and we just grab a couple of shield damage nodes. We get some projectile speed and attack damage and long shot there, and some health and some LE damage. We then pop on up and start getting some dual sockets with some crit and life, grabbing acrobatics on the way and another dual socket, more LE damage, more life and evasion, strength just to push us over so we can use all our gems that we need, and again going through getting more abyss sockets. Straight up a little bit of crit, a little bit of life, another socket here, and some lightning damage. Popping up, we got some crit multiplier, and then we are coming straight up to this wand circle. Now this is pretty interesting. Most wand builds will go around the right hand side because attack speed and accuracy is great for wands. However, Vaal Power Siphon neither needs attack speed or accuracy. As you can see here on the tooltip, this cannot be evaded right near the bottom there. And you're just hitting it once. You're just wanting flat damage. So we go around the left-hand side instead and getting damage with wands all the way around there. Lastly, we just pop through. We get a bit more damage with wands, another dual socket, power charge, straight up, and some last wand nodes. I'm sitting at level 91 with this character right now, and this is a substantially good tree for this level. Now to the Ascendancy. The very last interesting thing here is what Deadeye is actually doing for us. First of all, it's giving us an extra chain, and Ricochet is projectiles deal 10% more damage for each remaining chain. If we've got 4 chains remaining, that's 40% more damage for the initial hit, which is always nice, but honestly not needed at those early mobs in the Legion. It's we're just taking it for the chain, basically. Fast Shot is giving us increased projectile speed, and also the Fast Shot node, giving us more damage the farther the projectiles travel. Now, the other two Ascendancy choices are quite interesting, and I'm still playing around, as I said. The first one is just fast and deadly. Honestly, the only thing this is really giving me is 30% increased projectile damage, but it is nice. It does give a little bit. I am going to see and experiment if I switch that out with Gathering Winds, whether that's just going to be nicer to zoom around the Glacier maps to be able to pick up things faster. I don't think I need this extra damage, so I probably will switch to Gathering Winds. However, lastly, we are using Rupture. Rupture gives us crit multiplier and crit strike chance against bleeding enemies, and also life on hit when we hit a bleeding enemy. Now you may be wondering, I'm using Piscators, how am I dealing fizz damage to get that bleed? Now I'm being very sneaky with one of my jewels. See if I can find it here. Not there, not there. And here we are. We have one jewel in the entire build that adds 3 to 4 physical damage with wand attacks. This means that I have the chance to bleed on enemies, meaning that I can get that extra damage if I need, and the extra life gain on hit, which is quite tasty if you ask me. So a little bit of an interesting mechanic there. Piscators doesn't stop you from dealing physical damage, it just has no physical damage on the wand itself. You can see down here, the top line there, I'm dealing 12 to 15 physical damage. So that's pretty much the build. If you've got any questions, just let me know. That's pretty much all I'm going to show you guys today. I'm just going to do a little bit more tweaking of this build before I get going tonight to bed. But tomorrow I will be starting the grinding of the Glacier maps. So I hope you all enjoy this. The Pastebin will be in the description. You can have a little look there. And also an updated Filterblade filter for Glacier. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe if you are interested in this little journey that I'm going on. And it doesn't help giving this video a little thumbs up as well. Thank you very much. Badger out.